Aviation is becoming more incredible every day. For example, Amy Johnson recently managed to fly solo from England to Australia.
Really? Awesome. That must be at least 10,000 miles.
Amazing. Gregory?
Yes, Charlie?
I want an airplane. That's the entrance to the club. Very subtle to avoid unwanted attention. Disturbing. Someone drove a knife into this poster. It seems dangerous. Maybe it's better to take it out. These days you can find great players all over the place. It's kind of a golden age for jazz fans. I've watched a few shows here at the Proud Peacock, and all of them were very high quality. Joseph is always picky about the artists and the groups he calls in for his club. That's one of the reasons this place is really unique in its class. The fact that the quality of drinks is the highest you can find in town is secondary, of course. Actually, that's pretty surprising. I mean, considering the context. I have no idea what it is. Frankly, I don't know. Something electric? It's the symbol of Joseph's club, a stylized peacock. I think it's appropriate for a place called Proud Peacock, I mean. There's a similar one inside, only it's as big as an entire wall. I wonder why a peacock? I have to remember to ask Joseph about that. It allows patrons to locate the entrance without attracting too much attention. Every time I'm around here, I find something new outside. This time, it's a wheel. A bicycle wheel? What am I supposed to do with it? Okay, maybe that's not the correct question coming from me. Let's just say I'm not inspired by it, for the time being. Of all things, an abandoned tricycle at the corner of the street. I don't think I've ever had one of these before. Well, better late than never. Seems to be just some waste paper. These are pretty common. Each one of them tells a story. Where they're from, where they've been. Actually, I could also call it traveling waste paper. This one surely also has its own history. But I'm not ready to discover it. If someone put it there, there ought to be a reason. I think these things were invented in Mesopotamia. But frankly, I find it really strange that they didn't have these in America as well. Bah! Every time I'm around...
Password.
Nah, I completely forgot about it. This password thing always confuses me. Let's see, how was it? Pierre Perignon.
Okay, my friend, you can pass. Have a nice evening.
You need correct attire for any occasion. Luckily, I always keep a change of clothes available here. These are the privileges of being a regular.
Good evening, sir. What can I get you? I have to remind you that I'm forbidden to serve you olives in any form.
And it's all because of that harmless accident. Let's see. Gin and tonic. Whiskey, gin, rum, brandy, plus various exotic and rare spirits. Many of these spirits are hard to find, even in countries without the prohibition. I think I've tasted them all one time or another. Unfortunately, I was usually too drunk to remember anything about their flavor. I vaguely remember once trying a liqueur served with some grenadine. I feel sick just thinking about it. I mostly like spirits with bright colors, like green, yellow, or blue. But I understand that they're the most insidious over time. Beautiful and dangerous, yeah. Looking at Those bottles, I get thirsty. Whiskey?
What can I bring you, sir?
A whiskey, thank you.
Have you ever heard my darling song?
Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have finished it all in one gulp. I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
Don't worry, sir. Just leave it to me. Say goodbye to another glass. These are really tragic days. We're almost out of them. Maybe I can fix it. The damage doesn't look too serious. Let's see if I...
Glue. It seems the barman already used more than enough of it. I guess he wouldn't complain if I took what's left in the canister. That's strange anyway. Probably a sort of kleptomaniac episode.
Take my love, cannot wait any longer. You hear the wind. Hold it. Have you ever
They're already playing. They're warming up before the club opens. I would really like to stay here and listen, but unfortunately I have other things to do right now. So this must be how working people feel. Not being free to do whatever you want, whenever you want. What a strange sensation. I'm beginning to believe that this whole working thing wasn't such a great idea. This is really good. Maybe I should stick around. No, Charlie, you have to concentrate. You made a commitment and you must see it through. What a nuisance. But when this business is over... They're already playing. Huge, eh? It's the Proud Peacock's famous bronze relief. Joseph ordered it from some specialized craftsman in Europe. The detail on the peacock's tail is astonishing. I always wondered how they were able to install it without being noticed. Also, transporting everything sure couldn't have been easy. I wonder which kind of products they use to clean it. It's always so shiny. I guess there would be panic if it were to fall from the wall. Not that I want to do anything like that, of course. I could stare at it all night long. Huge, eh? Wait a minute, wait! He told me about her. She was a Polish painter, if I'm not mistaken. She's supposed to be an emerging painter with a unique style. Why can't I remember her name? Something. Lem. Ah, it escapes me, even if it's right on the tip of my tongue. Okay, now I remember. It's Tamara. It's really a peculiar style, very effective. I must get more information. I might buy some paintings for the mansion. Wait a minute, wait! Ah! That stuffed peacock just moved! Go away, zombie peacock! I don't believe it. Is that peacock real? I mean, real in the sense of being alive? No, that's out of the question. I don't want to go near the zombie peacock that might also be real alive. But why? Doesn't it soil the area? And what does it eat? I don't think it can live on spirits. Why is it staring at me? Shoo, go away! I don't have anything to give you or to say to you. Ah! It must be really warm. I'm not particularly fond of furs, but this one seems to be really soft. Isn't it a little too loud? I mean, I wouldn't look good in it, would I? I have nothing to go with it. And it really doesn't match my hat. And everyone knows the value of a man is the value of his hat. They say that, right? It should have something to do with the promises he makes. Bah, who cares? It must be... What's this? Notes for the Constitution. Every good American should have a vacuum cleaner in his house? Okay, this is definitely weird. What's this? Every good Okay. Good evening, Joseph. Any news here at the Proud Peacock?
Charlie, it's been a while. I thought you found another club to spend your evenings in. It's been a long time since your last visit.
You know I wouldn't. I'm sentimentally bound to this place. I could never abandon it. By the way, how about rewarding me for my loyalty? By setting aside old misunderstandings and withdrawing the prohibition on serving the olives?
Charlie, you know you're my favorite customer, but let's try not to tempt fate again.
I'm sorry, I've been busy. Did you know I have a new job? A stiff one, I mean, not the usual.
I heard you started working as a private detective. I guess it's true, huh?
Rumors travel fast, as usual. And I was hoping to surprise you.
That's very kind of you. But as you know, keeping up to date is part of my job. Tell me, are you here for a drink? Or is your visit related to something else?
Well, to tell the truth, I was hoping that you could lend me a hand with the case I'm working at the moment.
Charlie, let it go. This road could lead you to some unpleasant surprises.
Come on, Joseph. For all the drinks I offered your patrons? I'm not asking for any kind of direct help. I just need some suggestions.
And what are you looking for suggestions for?
Well, I'm working on the theft that happened at the museum the other night. And since no one knows the gutters of this city better than you, I was wondering if you've heard anything about it. I'm still an inexperienced detective, unfortunately, but I just need someone to point me in the right direction.
You're sticking your nose in a dangerous world, Charlie. Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm not a child anymore, and I don't need this kind of advice. What I need is some information about the case.
I understand. No offense intended, Charlie. But what do I get for getting mixed up in this business?
You'll find it interesting to know that the police have been keeping your place under surveillance. They think the thieves might try to sell the stolen goods through smuggling channels.
Well, well. So that's how things really are, huh? I have to say that this whole thing is turning out quite unexpectedly.
Believe me, this case is far from normal. I'm working on it for personal reasons. That's why I'm so interested.
Grit and determination. You surprise me. It seems you're taking this matter way more seriously than you usually do.
See? I told you I'm serious. Come on, we've been friends a long time. I wouldn't bother you if it wasn't important.
I see there's no dissuading you this time. Oh well, as you wish. I'll try to give you the information you seek. I don't know much about the theft at the museum, only that it was done by a group of professionals from out of town. They're led by a strange woman with a fondness for white dresses. She calls herself White Widow.
A woman? With a fondness for white dresses?
As far as I know, they still haven't tried to sell the stolen goods yet, and I don't think they will. Thefts like this are always commissioned by a buyer. Artwork in general is very difficult to fence.
It was theft on commission, then.
That's everything I know. Good luck with your investigation, Charlie.
Thank you, Joseph. I knew you'd eventually help me. Joseph's desk is always cluttered with documents and other things. That guy has a lot of work. The feline statue is new. I've never seen it. Let's say it's not particularly discreet. Without a drink on it, it wouldn't be Joseph's desk. I always like spiral notebooks. I find them really practical. I'd like to have a club like this someday. There are various things keeping me from doing so, though. Consistency, just to mention one. I get tired of everything quickly. I remember what happened when I bought a dirigible. I never used it. It's basically still wrapped up. Or the will. I already know that I'd just end up paying someone to run the place. I'm too lazy. Furthermore, this kind of place is illegal after all. My uncle would have a stroke if I opened a club like this. Joseph's dead. Of course, it's clearly the latest fashion. Shiny and glistening. The only problem is that if you sit down, it's pretty difficult to reach. It's sort of halfway between a miniature post and a tray, and in miniature. I don't know. I tried a lot of different ways, but I never succeeded. Of course, it's a reclining model. It seems pretty comfortable. It's quite far from the desk because Joseph doesn't like anybody leaning on it. I prefer to stay for now. Furthermore, as comfortable as it might be, I think it's a little too low. But it's definitely better than the stools. That's not in question. It's a reclining.
Here and look 1,000 miles away. I'll dream to be a bird, flow the gate. No more to say, just for my feet.